This is an instructional video on the proper way to install the clamp cylinder studs on the Ranger, Patriot, P100 and P120 iron roughneck. We want to begin by cleaning out all the pockets, making sure they're free of any debris. We use a parts cleaner and then blow them out with some air. When you know that they're good and clean, you want to thread your stud all the way down to the bottom by hand and then unthread it. And this is just to make sure that your threads are all good and clean. We recommend that you not use any type of air tool or electric tool. When you know you've got a good clean pocket, you want to take you some anti-seize and put on the threads. You don't want to put anti-seize on the end of the stud or at the bottom of the pocket. This is where friction is created to help keep the stud from working loose. And again, you do not want to use any kind of impact, air tool, or electric tool on installing your studs. If you happen to encounter any type of resistance when you're installing these studs, don't try to force the stud in. Back it out, inspect your threads, make sure you don't have any burrs. If for any reason you feel the need to have to use a tap, the only tap that you want to use is an 1 1/8" 12 thread forming tap. That's the only tap that you want to use on these threads. That's the only tap that will match the thread on the stud. If you do end up tapping, you want to go back through the process of cleaning out the pocket real well. Make sure there's no shavings left. Once all your studs are installed, you want to go back and you want to torque your studs to 300 foot-pounds. That's the maximum that you want to put on the stud is 300 foot-pounds. After you have all your studs torqued, then you want to install your cylinder. After you have your cylinder in place, you want to install your Nord-Lock lock washers and your nuts. And it's very important to use a Nord-Lock lock washer. That should be the only lock washer that you want to use during this installation. Once you have all your Nord locks installed and your nuts installed, you want to go back and you want to torque your nuts to 200 foot-pounds. Again, that's a maximum, 200 foot-pounds. Once you get your nuts torqued, you want to just do a visual inspection. You should wind up with 3 or 4 threads showing on the studs beyond the nut. That will tell you that the studs are the right depth and everything is in place properly.